Alright, what's going on guys? So back a while ago, I made a video called Why You Need an Apple Watch. And it's actually one of the most popular videos I've made in this channel. And in that video, I showed you the reasons why somebody should buy an Apple Watch. And I try to convince people, I try to convince you why you should buy an Apple Watch. And in that video, I gave you my reasons on why I personally bought an Apple Watch and why the Apple Watch is super useful for me. But in this video and in this series that I'm actually going to start called the Why You Need an Apple Watch series, I'm actually gonna interview people that have an Apple Watch and have a story to tell. This is Marcus, and Marcus has an awesome story to tell, which is incredible. It's such an inspiring story on how the Apple Watch helped him to get through some stuff, how the Apple Watch technically saved his life. It's awesome, and I really hope you guys enjoy the interview. All right, what's up, Marcus? Welcome.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Thanks for inviting me.
Are you excited to be here?
Yep, pretty cool to tell this weird story.
I am more excited for you to be here. I'm excited to know more of your story. So first of all, which Apple Watch do you have?
I have a Series 4. It's the biggest screen, 42 or 44, I never can remember.
44 millimeter.
44, yeah. It's that old gold that looks like copper a little bit. So yeah, Series 4.
So have you ever owned any previous Apple Watch, or is this?
Yeah, I bought it way back in 2015. I actually was working at this Brazilian Apple news site called Blog do iPhone, and I went to the US just to pick it up on release day to have it and to make videos and make content about it. So I've been using it ever since, every day. And I close my rings every day, walk 10,000 steps every day. I have this whole thing with the watch.
First of all, why did you buy an Apple Watch in the first place? Of course, to make content, but were you excited about an Apple Watch? Like, apart from making content?
Yeah, definitely.
Why did you buy an Apple Watch?
First, because it kind of looked cool, and it was a new Apple line of products that, you know, since the iPad, nothing had really come out really new. So I was really excited to have it, and the whole health thing. I've never been this guy that goes to the gym and works out, clearly, right? That works out and stuff. So the whole exercise thing in the Apple Watch was sort of appealing to me because it seemed like something I could squeeze in my daily life.
I'm gonna interrupt you there for a second. I love the fact that when Apple first launched the Apple Watch, I forget what they exactly said, but I remember telling us, like in an ad, I think it was, like the Apple Watch is not only for the runners, it's for people who just, you know, walk their dog, maybe take their kids out to the park. Like, it's for practically anybody. Like, anybody can work out, and you know, everybody's gonna fill out these activity rings. And I was personally super excited as well for the activity rings. I still am not a person that, you know, that works out a lot, but I love those activity rings. I love how the Apple Watch motivates you. I feel like the Apple Watch can motivate you a lot more, and Apple's really not pushing that forward. Like, you know, the activity rings awards, for example, they should do that more often. Like, right now we're in quarantine.
Yep.
Apple should release an award for, you know, for quarantine. I feel like they aren't pushing it that hard, but they've done really well. But I feel like they can still push it way harder.
Yeah, they definitely could do more. The whole activity thing, the gamification. I'm a sucker for gamification. You can gamify anything, I'm in. So Pedometer, that app, Pedometer Plus Plus by David Smith, it has this 10,000 day goal, and I hit it just because I want to have this sequence, the whole streak thing. Same thing with the exercises and standing up and the calories. So since the beginning, I really bought into it, and it's a really cool thing. They should really invest more in the achievements and the even more categories for exercise and stuff like that. I'm
really curious about your story, and I really want to hear about your story. I think it's time to hear about your story. Are you ready to tell us?
Yes, very glad to actually get to be here.
When I first saw it online, I was like, man, I have to call you. I gotta get you in here. It's actually such an inspiring story for so many people that don't really know if they should buy an Apple Watch. But I think after this story, I feel like, you know, I just feel like people need an Apple Watch.
Definitely,
just because of your story. So take it away, man. What happened? How did it happen? How did you notice everything? Take it away.
So I tend to sleep with my Apple Watch because I like to track my sleep. I have that auto sleep app, which is pretty good. I think it's pretty accurate. So I've been sleeping with the Apple Watch since this app came out, basically. And I'm a healthy guy. I don't have. I even made this whole batch of exams last year just to check if everything was okay. Everything was okay. So cut to last Sunday morning, I wake up at 6:30 with the Apple Watch really buzzing, And
wait, this was actually last Sunday? This was last Sunday,
yes,
sorry?
Just now,
Jeez.
yeah. And this weird thing, it was my birthday, but they didn't tell anyone. So that was that. So I wake up with this really weird, different buzz. It's sort of like when you're reaching 10% battery, that it really wants to call your attention to it. And
like boop, 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 right?
Yeah, it was more intense and longer than the usual notifications and stuff like that. So I wake up, look at it, and it tells me that it has identified that my heart rate is weird. So I took that ECG test that you just press on it here and wait for a little bit, and it just starts measuring not just the rhythm of your heartbeat, but the actual... I'm gonna butcher the explanation. I'm not a doctor, so bear with me. But right, the electrical signals that your heartbeat generate. So when you have it on your wrist and then you put your finger here, you sort of close the circuit, and it reads your heartbeat with the electrical impulse that it creates, right? So I took this test, and it said yes, you definitely have atrial fibrillation, which is this thing that the new Apple Watch, the Series 4 actually, started measuring. I thought it was weird.
How did you feel at this moment?
Completely normal. When I got to the hospital, just skip forward just for this little part. When I got to the hospital, they went like, "Are you feeling dizzy?" I was like, "Nope." "Are you feeling like pressure in your chest?" "Nope." "Are you feeling like you're out of breath?" No, I was completely normal. I wouldn't have known because my heart wasn't racing. Apparently, when you have arrhythmia, your heart races a lot. Mine wasn't really racing. It was like 75, 80, 90 BPM. Which is still regular for a normal person. Took the test again. Yep, you still have AFib. Waited a little bit. Took it again. AFib. Was like, well, sure. I'll just have to go to the hospital. And I got there, and it was funny because I told them, look, my watch is telling me that I have AFib. They went like, your watch? Yeah, that's it. But are you feeling all of these things? I wasn't feeling anything. They were sort of skeptical at the beginning. So they hooked me up to the machine and then confirmed it.
Well, I think, hold on, you were skeptical as well, right?
At the beginning I was.
Or
like maybe it was a misread.
Like, did you trust? Yeah, did you trust the Apple Watch? That's kind of what I'm asking.
Yes, after a while actually. Yeah, when I woke up with it, I thought it was weird. So I waited a while, and then I kept taking the test, and it kept telling me that I had AFib. And I've always taken this test once in a while just to check, and everything has always been regular. And I remembered these stories that I had that someone got the Apple Watch, then they put it on. As soon as they put it on, they got the alert. The guy was like, "No, this is broken." Put it on his wife. It was regular. Back to his, still giving the sign. So yeah. So at the beginning, I thought it was weird. Waited a little bit. Got it again. So I thought, yep, gotta go to the hospital. And I got there, and they confirmed it. They hooked me up to the actual big machine that measures heartbeat, and it was pretty much the same as I was getting from my watch. So.
Jeez. So what now?
So they went like, yes, you definitely have AFib. Then they got something in my veins and gave me lots of medicines and everything to try to have my heartbeat go back to normal. And I had to stay at the hospital, just lying down, doing nothing for 2.5 hours until the medicine kicked in. And then it did, everything was fine, luckily, because otherwise they told me I had to stay there for the week, for longer, right, to make more tests and everything.
I'm personally not a doctor. You aren't either, and I don't know much about this. Right now, what does it mean? Do you now have a sinus rhythm?
Yes. Just after 2.5 hours, sort of like that, it got sinus rhythm. If I take it right now, it says sinus rhythm, which is the regular thing.
So what would have happened if you wouldn't have done anything?
Yes, I'm not sure. I read a little bit about it. Again, not a doctor, so take it with a grain of salt. But a constant arrhythmia may cause the blood to clot inside your heart, and it may leave your heart go to your brain, and you can have a stroke or something like this.
Would you have taken an ECG? Would you have taken an electrocardiogram if you didn't have your Apple Watch?
If I think I would have had to feel worse or feel like something was really wrong to go to the hospital and then take the ECG and then see what that it was really happening, but it would have been way down the line when symptoms started showing up.
I think that's what's so special and so powerful about the Apple Watch, is that it doesn't wait till something is actually really wrong for it to alert you. Since it's always on your wrist, you can just take it once in a while, and it's actually got your heart rate always So this is like super powerful stuff, and this stuff can actually save your life, which is, incredible. I mean, that it detects something that is so far away. It's just awesome. Do you believe that people need an Apple Watch? Like, if people, I know a lot of people that think that the Apple Watch is pointless, or an Apple Watch is a mini iPhone strapped on your wrist. Do you believe that there's more to the Apple Watch than just a mini iPhone on your wrist?
Well, it's sort of silly until it isn't, right? It was silly all along until you actually woke me up and told me, go to the hospital, your heart is acting funny. So, there's a huge opportunity for health. It could take your temperature. So there's a lot of opportunity for health here, and Apple found it, right? I mean, in the beginning it was like, oh, you can just be close to your friends and send your heartbeat.
And it sends you on notifications.
Yeah.
Which is super awesome too. Awesome. But that was literally the only thing that was making Apple, selling the device to you. It was notifications, it was the activity rings, and then it's beautiful. And you can switch up the bands, which is still awesome. I'm not saying it isn't, but now I feel like they've narrowed down and know what the Apple Watch is and what it wants to do in the future, and the potential that it actually has for the future.
That's
as
it.
well.
That's exactly it.
Thank you, Marcus, and thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome. I make a bunch of Apple content over here, so if you're a fan of the Bit and Apple, like us, consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Say peace, Marcus.
Peace.
Peace.
That's life. That's life. That's what all the people say.